Hey, welcome back to my stamp room. This is Kimberly with stampinbythesea.com, and today I am going to talk to you about one of my favorite tools, and this is the Color Spritzer tool. And I had actually talked a little bit about this on my Facebook page yesterday, and I said use it or lose it. And many of you talked about you own it, but you don't use it because you don't really understand it, or it's not really used a lot because when you are applying the pressure, you're not getting the effects that you want. So I want to show you how to use it and why I love it so much. And really, it sits on my desk and I use it all the time. And it's probably one of the reasons why my markers, I go through markers a little bit faster because I'm using markers all the time with this great tool. So let's get started. Number one, I think that this tool can really add a lot of power and wow factor to any card. Take, for instance, this one. It was sprayed just very lightly with the Island Indigo marker, and you can't see it really, I mean, it's not real powerful, but it's just enough to give it that, okay, she sprayed it. This one I did even lighter, and I used Summer Starfruit, which is actually one of my favorite markers to use with my Color Spritzer tool. Again, it's very light, and many times I will actually stamp an element, spritz it with my Color Spritzer tool, and then I'll apply it to the actual card, because maybe I don't want that full spray going everywhere. But let me show you how it works. So you have your tool here, and you have this piece. And this piece, if it falls out and you lose it, that's not good. In fact, I almost would say you'd have to buy a new one because you really want, you have to have that to keep the marker in place. So our Stampin' Up! Markers are great because they're dual tip, and we have the nice fat tip to put on stamps, and then we have this one that we can actually write with. So what you're going to do is take your marker and go in. This needs to be unscrewed. A little bit more, Kimberly. A little bit more. Get it all the way in there, up to the top, and then you're going to screw it down till you feel that it's tight. And once that's tight, you're ready to go. Now, when you're spritzing a card, I have the marker going down this way, and I will pump my spray piece up here. Now, you can make a beautiful card go ugly from 2 seconds flat by coming way down here and spraying just like that. I would never do something like that unless I wanted that effect maybe on a scrapbook page, or maybe if I was using it, say, a stencil. For instance, something like this. Let's just turn this piece over. If I wanted to, you know, get that kind of an effect, then yes. Okay, but for the most part, how you're going to spritz is have your spritzer high and gently just give it a spritz. And that way that ink tends to kind of flow out. The closer you are, the more splatter effect, because that ink is hitting the paper and kind of pushing outward, the more dramatic the effect, really. So sometimes I just want a very subtle look. I'm just going to go really light. And you see, just a nice, light spray. I always tell people when they're first starting out with this, practice, practice, practice. And practice before you go to your card. Because again, it's kind of like the shimmer mist. You know, people can make a card and it is absolutely beautiful. They take the shimmer mist to the card and bam. Too much shimmer mist or a big splatter. You know, always spray those bottles first on a scratch surface and then go to the card. Some of my favorite colors that I just think are great with the Spritzer tool, I used to be typically only like soft suede, crumb cake, and very neutrals. I'm still pretty neutral, but these are some of my favorite colors right now that I love. And Summer Starfruit, I love this because it is more of that vintage feel. Pool Party has a great effect. Basic Gray and Sahara Sand right now are probably by far my two favorites that I use. And I use those on multiples of colors. So don't narrow yourself down to just, you know, your basic neutral colors with your browns. Even get pull out your black can look really nice on something. But overall, this tool is great. The only thing you have to do is practice with it. Remember, higher up, lighter squeeze, and you're going to do great. Thank you for visiting. I hope this tip helps you, and visit my website at stampinbythesea.com.